there, I'm Scott, and this is Great Scott Knitting, a blog podcast thingy. Welcome to episode 24. Um, this is, I guess one could say, this is going to be my Pride episode, my month of June episode. So if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. If you are new to this channel, thank you for trying it out. I hope you like it. Today is Saturday, June 12th. When last we were chatting, it was a cool 61 degrees and very rainy. Well, that was 2 weeks ago. And what a difference 2 weeks makes, because today in Wichita, Kansas, it was 90 and it started out at about 95% humidity. And it really has been ranging over the past few days of anywhere between 50% humidity and about 98% humidity, which you would think is almost impossible. But yeah, hot, sticky June, and it's not even summer yet. Technically, not till Monday in a week. Yeah, we've got a while to go before summer truly hits. But yeah, expecting like a 99, 100 degree day coming up this next week. So hot, sticky, icky, wet. Yeah. So there's that fun stuff. Today was World Knit in Public Day, and due to the fact that it was 90 degrees with a anywhere from 50 to almost 100% humidity, I chose to knit very quietly in my own home, where it is a nice cool 72 degrees and nice and dry due to the air conditioning. Yes, I believe in air conditioning. Yeah, it's just too freaking hot and humid to knit outside in public. I suppose I could have knit indoors in public somewhere, but no, I didn't. So anyway, there's that. Anyway, happy Pride to those of you who celebrate this month of where we recognize the efforts of our those who came before us in their efforts to bring about a more just and equitable world where gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, queer, binary, non-binary people have every right to exist, express themselves in the exact same way that cisgender, heterosexual people have been able to express themselves in public for years, and to do so without any repercussions or danger to ourselves. We're not there yet. As much as getting the right to marry the person of our choice has meant, and what a milestone that was a few years back, we are still struggling in a world where in many states people can be fired for being gay, people can lose their jobs for being gay, people can be beat up for being gay. I still cannot comfortably walk down the street holding the hands of my husband without there being a danger. That's just the facts of life that many straight people simply take for granted. Many of you don't, and I appreciate you all who are our allies, who have been with us in this fight, some of you from the beginning. But I also think of this time of year and think of those that fought, that lived, but died way too soon due to AIDS. A whole generation of men, women, some children, gone. Their contribution to the world cut way too short. and knowing that their numbers are mine, their struggle is mine. I think of them, I honor them, and I try to live up to the potential that they were denied. So, anyway, that being said, happy Pride. This is technically a knitting and yarn related podcast vlog thingy. And so if that's what you're here for, let's get into those things. Anyway, before we get into those things, there is a bit of housekeeping to talk about. And that is my knit and crochet and make along that I am doing. I started this 2 weeks ago on Memorial Day, which was the anniversary of this channel here on YouTube. It will go until the end of July 31st. What this is a knit along for a shawl. Any shawl by Josh Ryks-Robinsky. I will link to his Ravelry page where you can see all of his patterns that you can choose from. He has some beautiful shawls that are there. I am doing a shawl of his as well, and I will show you my progress on that a little bit later. I think he's an absolutely brilliant designer. I love his work. It's very geometrical. It tends to be smaller shawls than what you may be used to with if you are a fan aficionado of Stephen West, who seems to be getting larger and larger shawls. It's almost as if he had a yarn shop. These are very accessible shawls. The patterns are really well written. There is some challenge to them, but not difficult challenges. And they always create some kind of really beautiful product in the end. So if you're a knitter, choose one of his shawls, cast on. There's plenty of time to be able to finish one of his projects between now and the end of July. If you are a crocheter, you may join along if you wish. Simply find a shawl or project pattern of 2, maybe 3 skeins of yarn that you enjoy and cast on and join with us. To truly join in, you can post your finished objects, your progress, your yarn selections, whatever you wish, to hashtag GreatScott Knitting KAL 2021. I also have a Ravelry page, which I will link to below, that you can also drop those photographs, pics, drawings, and interpretive dance into. So whatever you like. That will, of course, express the shawl or project that you are working on. He does have a couple of cowls and maybe a hat. I don't remember any hats. But anyway, he has some other projects. So, okay. Currently, I don't have a huge raft of prizes, other than I will probably do a quick drawing at the end of this knit along and send you some of my hand-dyed skeins of yarn that I have done my very own self, and I hope you will enjoy those. And if some other things happen to pop up along over the next month and a half, I'll throw those in as prizes as well. So there's plenty of time to join in, come along, and it will be fun. I believe that also Needles at the Ready will be doing their Let's Hear It for the Boys annual knit along. This will be the second year they've done that. And this would be a project that would fit in perfectly for them, as Josh Ryks-Robinsky is a male knitter designer. So that would be great. So, okay, now let's jump into the rest of my little fibery world and talk about my finished objects. The only finished object I've had over the last 2 weeks, and it took me all of those 2 weeks to actually get it finished, was my LGBTQ liturgical stole, which I designed and knit for my next door neighbor's son, who is a Methodist minister. It has already been gifted to him. He received it with great enthusiasm and excitement. I did happen to take a couple of pictures. One of my own minister here in house, Reverend Mr. Spock. He's sporting the liturgical stole. And as you can see, it has the rainbow colors on the bottom section. And then those additional progressive pride colors of black, which, if you are unaware, that celebrates those lost to AIDS. The brown, of course, for people of color. Light blue and pink and white for our transgender brothers and sisters. So it is the progressive pride flag colors. The stole is a little over, or right around 120 inches, which makes it just about 10 feet long, all from one purple edge to the other purple edge. So that was a lot. It is about 5 inches wide. Each color is about 5 inches long. And it is knit in a pattern of sort of a slipped waffle stitch, which is really quite nice. Gives it a nice somewhat texture, keeps it generally flat. So and it was made out of fingering weight yarn, so that you can imagine a little bit of knitting was going on. So that is my in-house minister. The gentleman whom it was gifted to is here, and so you can see it will, he's a robust man, and it will look really quite wonderful on him. When I gifted it to him, he happened to be with his young teenage son, and his young teenage son just happens to have recently come out to his father, who is a minister. And the lovely thing he said was, "When you're ready, I'm ready." So lovely man, a wonderful minister. I've really enjoyed getting to know him a little bit. Being a Jew myself, being able to be embraced and to embrace a Methodist minister, and to see him be a very vocal and active ally of the LGBT community is a refreshing aspect of this. So it was a joy to be able to knit this for him and to gift it to him, and to know that he will use it and wear it with pride. So it was a joy for me. So that's my one finished knitting object. I do have a whole bunch of dyeing that I did between the last time we spoke and now. Mainly, okay, so there's a couple of things that have been going on in my head. One is to play more and more with color on yarn to get a sense of what I like to do. Also that I can eventually begin selling it to you, not just using it for myself. That's why I bought a good haul of blank yarn, is so that I can turn this around and maybe have it pay for itself a little bit. But anyway, I've been playing around with some colors, that and some techniques to see what I like to do. So you can see these are very similar, but they have a difference to them. Let's see, there's another one in that series, which is just slightly different. So and another one in that series of dyeing with blue colors. yeah, some minis that I dyed up that I've been playing with. So a couple of things that I have going on. There is there are I do have four colorways that I've sort of decided on to start with. I have a couple others in the planning, in the works, in the mind. One is this burgundy color, this sort of deep magenta-y color. It's called I'm going to be calling this Kiddush. Kiddush is the blessing over wine for Jewish holidays, especially, of course, weekly holiday being Shabbat. We say the Kiddush blessing over wine. And so this is sort of my wine-colored colorway that I'm going to be going with. I'll be doing this up in some a couple of in some fingering weight and in some DK. Maybe a tinge lighter than this because this is a bit on the dark side, but I like that one. And then I have another one which is on the blue side, which is sort of a tonal blue, and this one will be called Techelet. Techelet is a blue color which was traditionally used in tzitzit, which are the fringes that Orthodox or observant Jews will wear. It's also in our prayer shawls, but it's that blue which is prescribed by Torah. Anyway, that's my blue color. It will be Techelet. Then I have been playing with, let me see if I can find it. I've been playing with some browns because I'm wanting to do a brown colorway, a bit more tonal than this. This is a bit more variegated than maybe I think I'm going to eventually go with, but I'm going to be calling that colorway challah, which is the bread we have on Shabbat and holidays. So it's sort of that toasty brown color that I'm going to go with, in addition to having some lighter tones to it. So I've been playing with that. You can see that I've sort of played with that a little bit on some additional yarn. You can see those browns. This would be like burnt challah, I guess, because it got really too dark for me. Anyway, so those are some of that playing around. Another colorway that I have truly decided on is my black and white colorway. One on DK, one on fingering, and this is going to be called Shema, which is the prayer of sort of our affirmation of faith as Jewish people. And so it's this black and white yarn. So let me know if you like any of these colors. I'm definitely doing Shema, which is the black and white. I'm definitely doing the Kiddush and the Techelet. And I'm definitely going to be doing a tonal brown in these tones, but a little more solid than this. It's going to be sort of another solidy tonal, but lighter colored than the Kiddush and the Techelet. But it's going to be my challah. Yeah. I have some other colorways that I want to do as well that will be sort of complementary to those, because I want to do them sort of as a set, with the theme being Shabbat. So there's those. Anyway, let me know how you like some of those colors, if they are colors that you would consider purchasing yourself. Because I'm having a battle within myself of, should I do this, should I not? Should I actually dye up enough to sell to other people, with the fear that no one will buy it, and then I'm stuck with a whole bunch of yarn, which I think is pretty. I mean, I really love those tonal colors, and and I really do like the black and white, which I think is fun. Anyway, so tell me what you think. And if I hear good things, and maybe even if I don't hear good things, I'll probably still give it a try, see what happens. So there's that. Works in progress. I do have some shawls that I have cast on, some that you have seen, which was last time I had cast on an exploration station in my hand-dyed yarn. And I don't know which one it is. And I really, quite frankly, I haven't touched this in 2 weeks. But here's my exploration station in my hand-dyed, and I believe it's BFL. Yes. Some blue-faced Leicester in these 4 colorways, very sort of pastel-y colors. Anyway, I like it. I think it's in keeping with his stylistic concept in colors, if not his boldness of color. But I really haven't touched it in 2 weeks, mainly because I have really been focused on wanting to get that liturgical stole done in Pride Month and get that gifted out, which I was able to do. So now I can actually spread some of my knitting love around a little bit. Then the other thing I have been working on, and I've actually put some stitches on this because last time I hadn't even cast it on, but it is my Thrive by Josh Ryks-Robinsky for my knit along. I'm doing this very light colors of light blue and gray, and then to that will be added the third color, which is a deeper blue. So it's not a great contrast, especially the gray and the light blue are pretty much in the same tonal spectrum. The sort of royal blue will kind of pop a little bit with these. So I'm looking forward to getting to that third color, which comes in another after I finish the section I'm on, which I just started. This is the very bottom of this. I'll move on to that third color. But I really love the slip stitch section. I think it's really an interesting way of bringing these 2 colors together. But anyway, I've made some really good progress on that, to the point of possibly next month I'll cast on another Josh Ryks-Robinsky shawl just for fun. Yeah, so there's those guys. That's what I have there. And last thing I have on the needles is my June sock. I just got it cast on. I just got it started. And of course, it is knitting up quite nicely so far. Here's the skein of yarn. This is the yarn for this is Manos del Uruguay in the base of Alegria, which is a sock base, a 75-25 superwash merino polyamide. And the colorway is called Cabaret, and it is, of course, the black, the gray, and those light pinks popping out, which is perfect for Pride Month, at least in my estimation. And the name of it takes me back to the time in Kansas City when at one point there was a gay club called the Cabaret. So it makes me think of that whenever I am working on that particular sock. I have 2.5 weeks to get those socks done so that I can continue to meet my personal goal of having 1 pair of socks completed per month per for each month in 2021. So there's that. I'm well on my way there. Okay. Anything else I'm knitting on? No. Any other dyeing? No. Okay. Which takes me to acquisitions, stash enhancement, filling the pantry, what have you. I do have acquisitions to share with you. Yay! It doesn't happen very often, but because I'm actually doing a lot of my own dyeing as opposed to spreading the love around. But I'm finally spreading the love around, and this month I spread the love around to the Blue Fiber Company. I spoke about these guys or about this gentleman a while back, and finally have been able to purchase his beautiful, beautiful colorways. So I have 4 skeins of his beautiful yarn that I picked up from his last drop. And this one is his sock base, which is an 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. And this is the colorway of Cora, which you can see is just packed full of fun, exciting, vibrant colors. I cannot wait to cast on with these colors. I think it's just absolutely beautiful. So there's that. Then he has another base of a cash merino, which is a 80% superfine superwash merino, 20% Mongolian cashmere, and I have these picked up 3 skeins of DK weight in his cashmere merino base, and oops, this one's wanting to come undone. How dare he? Oh well, so be it. This one wants to show off, so I'm going to show it off. So here is this beautiful skein of yarn. And it is in the colorway of, gotta be careful, I believe it's, this is Calcutta, is this colorway, which is a nice light shade with some tonal browns. There's just like all sorts of colors that pop up in this skein of yarn. And so I think this one this will play very nicely. Go ahead and sleeve it back up with my other 2 colorways, one of which is called Lugh or Luge, Lugh. I don't know how to pronounce that one, but gorgeous variegated browns and tans with some beautiful speckles of browns and tans and grays and some oranges, and I just find it gorgeous. I love this colorway. And of course the merino and cashmere together is just so super soft and just a joy to touch and feel. So I'm really liking this colorway. And then the final one is, so these 2 are going to play well with each other. And then the final colorway in this cashmerino DK is called Umber. Not burnt, not raw, but just umber. It's this really rich brown. It looks much more dull on camera than it really is. It's just a very rich color that I think plays so nicely with the other 2. So I can't wait to throw these together in a shawl together. Yeah, so there's these 3. That's my stash enhancement. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that I finally pulled the trigger on buying some of that yarn. Yes, so much fun. Okay, so that is what I have enhanced my stash with this past month, this past 2 weeks, which is really cool and great. Um, yeah, cool. So, what else have I been up to? I just have not been watching TV. I haven't even been watching streaming TV. Between work, knitting, and trying to keep up with podcasts, which I watch a lot of podcasts. And there's just not much time for anything else. Um, the top podcasts I've been watching lately, On the Needles with Nancy Olfs of Trilogy Yarns and Kathleen Cubley of Knitter's Pride. That's a really good one. If you've not watched those ladies, they're great. Um, of course, the Grocery Girls. Um, if you're into knitting, crochet, yarn, fiber, anything, watch the Grocery Girls. Their banter is great. They're fun. They do live streaming of their podcast every week practically, and they're just so interesting to watch. This week they did a shout out to a gentleman that I really like watching, even though I am not a crocheter. I really do enjoy watching the Stout Stitch with Zach Stout. The Grocery Girls gave him a good shout out this past week. So if you don't take my recommendation, take theirs. Go watch his podcast. He's a lovely gentleman. He does gorgeous work with crochet. He does some design as well. And he's a delight to watch. So definitely go out and check out his podcast at the Stout Stitch. I also truly enjoy A Girl in Her Wool with Lauren. She is a yarn dyer, and her yarn is A Girl in Her Wool yarn. It's her side business, but she does gorgeous yarns. Again, she's another person that eventually I'm going to spread some of my yarn money around to. But I love her work. I love her dye style. I have tried to not mimic, but sort of learn from how she does some of her function or her dyeing style, and let it inform me a little bit. But she has a really great podcast, so go check her out. And then, of course, Fiber Hustle. If you've not watched Fiber Hustle, you are missing out. They are a couple of delightful gentlemen from Washington State. Aaron, who is a knitter, Chip, who is a sewer and quilter. They have a lovely, lovely, amazing show that is filled with fun and joy. You should definitely go watch them if you haven't already. All of the links to my top 5 of this week of podcasts will be in my show notes down below. Be sure and go check these guys out. You will be happy that you did. That being said, that is the end of all of my fibery goodness and stuff. So there's that. So thank you for joining me this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you're working on, what's going on in your world through comments below. I always try to respond. So definitely give me a shout out there. Check me out on the social media channels of Facebook, where I have a Facebook page called GreatScott Knitting. Also look me up on Instagram, where I am GreatScott Knitting. On Ravelry, I'm GreatScott KCMO. Go there and hey, check out some of my designs. You might enjoy those too as well. I also have a Ravelry group. I'll put the link to that in the show notes below. That being said, I don't think I have anything else to talk about today. Please join my knit along. I hope you enjoy that process. So there. May you have peace in your home and the fullness of joy for all who dwell there.